Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Satgurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidvaram Manojavam Marudhatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayuta Mukhyam Sri Ramadutam Sirasa Namami Santoshini Jaganmata Mama Saubhagyavriddhaye Namaskaromi Bhaktya Tvam Prasanna Varada Bhava Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kridau Vande Bhagavandau Punah Punaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashandaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Satchitananda Rupaya Vishwotpattyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Nilambujasyamalakomalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Mahasayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Rakhuvam Shanatham Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Lengayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. So yesterday we saw Arjuna was thinking about sannyasa and he wanted to take sannyasa as a sadhana. So we saw three types of sannyas. One is Vidvat sannyasam, Vividisha sannyasam and Apat sannyasam. So Vidvat sannyasam is he is born sannyasi, so nothing will stop him from taking sannyas. Vividisha sannyasam is you burn all your boat and seek this knowledge exclusively, giving up everything and dedicate yourself to the goal of moksha and perform sadhana, shravana, manana, nidhyasana, ityadi. Do it exclusively without the responsibilities of the world and samsara. Apasannyasa is when you get into trouble, terminal disease or business failure, they seek shelter in sannyasa. So this is the third one. So Arjuna was thinking, why not I take Vividisha sannyasam, which is a sadhana. So sannyasa is a sadhana, why should I not take? This was his question. Now Bhagavan answered that sannyasastu mahabhaho dukkhamaptum ayogataha yoga yukto munirbhemma nachirenati gacchati. So sannyasa is dukkhamaptum, it will become A problem in the sense he will be a dukkhi. Dukkhamaptum here means difficult to attain without the practice of yoga, especially karma yoga. Unless we have matured and seen the limitation in the pursuit of the world, and the mind has to mature itself that in this world there is no real happiness. I want real, absolute ananda. This thought has to rise and it has to become the only interest in life. Such person alone will be able to take sannyasa and seek this, pursue this path. So this we saw yesterday, now continuing.
Sarvakarmani manasa
Sarvakarmani manasa
Sannyasyaaste sukham vashi Navadvare pure dehi
Navadvare pure dehi
Naiva kurvanna karayan
Naiva kurvanna karayan. Therefore, Bhagavan is advising Arjuna, mentally renouncing all activities, sarva karmani manasa sannasya. Mentally renouncing all activities and self-controlled, the embodied being happily sits, neither acting nor prompting others to do anything. One rests happily in the Navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvanna nakarayanna. Nine-gated city called, body is called nine-gated city. This is a state of Paramatma residing in each one of our body. This body is called nine-gated city. See, when we install a murti in the temple and invoke the presence of Lord, we consider it is a sanctum sanctorum. We look up to it as very holy and very sanctified place. But here, Bhagavan is introducing to us that the Lord Himself is residing in you, in this body. So how sacred should be the body? So we should look up to the body as temple. So all of you are a chalte firte mandir hai. Walking temple. So this appreciation is there, then the life become holy, sacred. So this is the idea Bhagavan is giving. Now 7 of them in the face itself, 7 holes are on the face. Face is actually crowded. And anus and genital organ together 9 gates. Dehi, the embodied self, remaining in the city, in his presence, everything works. Therefore, all activities dedicate to him. He is the one controller. Without him present, you cannot function in this world. This awareness should be there. Then our ego get distilled. Slowly, slowly, ego get punctured. So this is the program. That is why in our culture, day-to-day culture also, before starting everything, we remember God. Even a rickshawala, before starting, he remembers God. And conclusion also, we remember God. Before going to bed, we remember Him and offer everything to Him. So this is the idea. Slowly, slowly, take our mind to Bhagavan. Then what happened? Our egos, the function becomes less and less. Once ego realizes that there is a higher principle, higher power that is controlling and governing, the ego accept that, then ego's disturbance will be less. Such a person, how he conduct himself in this world is said here in the next verse, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne.
Vidya Vinaya Sampanne
Vidya Vinaya Sampanne
Brahmane Gavihastini
Brahmane Gavihastini
Shuni Chaiva Shwapake Cha
Shuni Chaiva Shwapake Cha
Pandita Samadarshinaha
Panditah Samadarshinaha. Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Wise men have equal vision. Those people perceive the same Lord in everyone. They see a Brahmana who is knowledgeable with humility. The knowledge should not make him arrogant. Vinaya Sampannaha Brahmanaha, it is said. Humility is the sign of right knowledge. Or if he is seeing a dog or cow or elephant or shopaka. Shopaka means the one who eats dog eaters. So all the Vietnamese, some part of China also, they are all shopakas. They cook dog and eat. Means the most tamasic person. A dog is the one faithful to the master. If you call him, he will come to you. At that time, you catch him and kill him means that is the cruelty to the height. In all of them, he sees the Lord residing in them. He will not tag them as good or bad. See, this tagging is the nature of our mind. Now you go to a party, you see a new person, young man is there, you watch. Then what is your curiosity? Mind approaches him. In Indian style we ask, what is your good name? So he will tell Natarajan, Vishwanathan. Oh, he is a South Indian. Mentally noted. Then what is your last name? Iyer or Iyengar or? So he will say, I am Iyer. Oh, he is a Brahmana. Noted. Then next question will be, where are you working? So he is working for IBM or Intel or some computer company. So he understands that, oh, he must be IIT. IT person. So then we will ask, he want to make sure his status. So next question, where are you staying? So you will say a particular place, then you understand it is a posh place. So then the mind has calculated all this, noted everything, and put a tag on him. Now he is worthy of inviting to my next party, isn't it? Now this division, who makes is our mind. Now this Jivan Mahatma, a Panditaha, a Mahatma is the one who never put a tag to anybody. They are able to accept a person as they are. And they are not looking at a person's beauty or whether he is ugly or good or bad or a Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya, Shudra. That differentiation is not there in them. What they see in everyone is that Paramatma. So this is the idea. Then Bhagavan gives here a beautiful advice. 33 verse.
Shaknoti haiva yassodum Praksharira vimokshanat
Praksharira vimokshanat
Kamakrododbhavam vegam
Kamakrododbhavam vegam
Sayukta युक्तः स सुखी नरः
Sayukta sasukhi naraha Shaknaha iti iha eva sodum shaknoti. Shaknoti sodum shaknoti prak sharira vimokshanad. So before leaving this body, shaknoti, if you are capable or able to, sodum, give up. What is that? You have to try to give up. Kama krothotbhavam vegam. See, this vegata means that when the kama, desire comes, that mind becomes very violent, isn't it? That intensity of desire make you forget about, make you blind about all dharma, adharmas, and somehow by hook or crook I should get it. This thought of a vegada. And when krotham come also, what happened? Anger comes also, we have the same situation, that unless I give it back to him, unless you see that person and tell your mind, and what do you think about him, and that vengeance, the vengeful attitude, if we are able to give up before leaving this body, kama yogam sayuktaha sasukhi naraha. He says he is a yukta purusha, he is an integrated person, and he is sukhi naraha. He is the most happiest person in the world. Whenever such urge of desire or anger come, it is advised that do it tomorrow. When you are angry, don't immediately call him or her, talk to that person. When Ravana died in the battlefield, Ramchandraji sent Lakshmana to get advice from him. So Lakshmana was hesitant. Why? Why should I get advice from him? No. He is a Brahmana, he is a Pandit Samavedi, so he must be having good experience with the world. You don't take him for granted. Go and get his advice. Then Ravana said before dying, whenever you feel like doing good, do it immediately. And whenever you want to do bad, postpone it, he said. And actually Ravana was doing opposite. The next day you will not have the same grip or intensity. You can try this one day, you can tell no to your mind, you feel good. Start with small things. Now the last verse in this Bhoktaram, very beautiful verse.
भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसां
Bhoktaram yajnatapasam
सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति
Yeah, Bhoktaram Yajnatavasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Knowing me as the enjoyer of sacrifice and austerities, unto whom you offer all the yajnas, that Lord of the universe, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, the Lord of the universe. What is that? He is the one. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Jnatva Mam Shantim Prachati. And that Lord is not sitting in the heaven and coming down on you with a thunderbolt to punish you. No, here Bhagavan uses a beautiful word, Suhritam Sarvabhutanam. He is the best friend of everyone. See, our culture is so beautiful. They have not painted Bhagavan as a threatening, a fearful person. Here he says he is the best friend of everyone. How compassionate is Bhagavan. Suhridam sarvabhutanam. He is the friend of all being. Bhagavan is your best friend. A friend is the one who is with you in good time and bad time. Bhagavan is your real friend. Everyone leaves you, but he never leaves you. Yavat pitto parjana saktaha tavan nija parivaro raktaha paschat pashyadi jajjaragehe vartang kopina prichadigehe. Shankaracharya said in Bhajagovindam. The one who knows this, he attains peace. With this, the 5th chapter is concluded. Now we enter into the 6th chapter. See, Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 shatkams. The first shatkam means a group of 6 chapters. The first 6th chapter is talking about you. Tum padartha shodhana. So this is the first 6th chapter about you. That's why we saw Arjuna's rejection and then Bhagavan's teaching and introducing your real nature. So this is the first chapter, first 6 chapters. Then from the 7th chapter to 12th chapter is Bhagavan. What is the nature of Lord? So that's why the Madhyama Shatka, Dvitiya Shatka is talking about the Lord. That is Tat Padartha. So Tattvamasi Mahavakya is analyzed in the 18 chapters. So the second 6 chapters talk about Ishvara Swarupa, what is his nature, how he is. He is introducing, Bhagavan is introducing himself to Arjuna. First was introduction to his own real nature. Now, who is this Lord? What is his relationship? What is the nature of this creation, etc. being talked about. Then the following 13th chapter to 18th chapter is the connection between the Jiva and Ishvara. That is why in 13th chapter is a turning point. It is one of the most important chapter where Bhagavan directly tells, I myself kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. I am in every one of you, he says. So this connection is also given. Asipada Shodhanam is there. Up to 15th chapter, the teaching is going on. Then the 16th and 17th is an appendix, as it were. It is the final adjustment that you have to make within your antakarana so that you will be able to appreciate the teaching of Bhagavan. And the 18th chapter is a summary. There is no new topic introduced there. It is a summary. This is how the whole plan is. Now, conclusion of the Tompada Shodhanam, the meditation. So this is the topic in the 6th chapter, meditation. Even though meditation is one topic, it is divided into subtopics like what is meditation, who is a meditator, how to meditate, the obstacles that you come across, what are the discipline to be observed, etc. are all given in this chapter. Meditation to be practiced oneself. You have to practice on your own, not with the whole family together. Please don't do that. There will be a lot of problem. Everybody will be competing each other. Every time they meditate with your wife or with your children, they will open their eyes and look at you. You are meditating, then they will also go to meditation. So don't do that. Now continuing, Uddhared Atmanatman.
Uddharedatmanatmanam
Uddharedatmanatmanam
Natmanam avasadayet
Atmanam avasadayed
Atmaiva आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः
Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuh.
आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः
Uddharet. Atmana atmanam uddharet. Lift yourself by yourself. Atma Shabda here is mind, not the Paramatma. Na atmanam avasadayet. Never look down upon yourself. Having risen in spirituality, do not fall down again. Because your mind is your friend. Atma here means our mind. Your mind is your enemy. Arjuna, please understand the enemy number one is our own mind. Who is an enemy? The one who continuously troubling is called enemy. हमेशा सताते रहते हैं, उसको शत्रु कहते हैं. This mind sitting inside continuously give you trouble. Then, how to control the mind? He gives an example of riding the horse. Because Arjuna is familiar with riding horse, he is a soldier. So he knows, because whenever you give example, the example should be familiar to you. Otherwise, the example will not drive home the idea. So before getting onto the horse, there are lot of activity. Once you got onto the horse, then the horse is under your control, then it is easier to ride. The same example he uses for meditation. Now, until you get control over your mind, there are lot of effort. But once you get control over the mind, then it becomes easier. Like riding a horse. Now when you want to ride a horse, you have to become familiar with the horse. You have to pat the horse and take the horse for a ride. And slowly the horse become familiar with you. Then it allows you put the saddle. And once the saddle is on, then the horse is not going to stand idle for you, stand there stable. No, the horse is a dynamic animal. It starts running, galloping. And at that time, you have to hold on the mane and then put your left leg on the stirrup and then slowly lift your leg, the other leg, and then holding on to the mane, get on to, this is a precarious condition, and horse is galloping already, moving already, and put on the other side of the stirrup, and once you are on it, then you can take the reins, then the horse know that he has a master now. Then it becomes easy, for little nudge here and there is enough for to control the horse. The same example Bhagavan uses, a very beautiful example. Our mind is also very dynamic, like the horse. And before it get to a state where you have control over it, it takes some time. You have to be patient. Slowly, slowly, you have to practice meditation. So, arurukshor muner yogam karma karana muchyate. Yogarudhasya tasyeva shamakarana muchyate. Then continuing, jitatmana prashantasya.
जितात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः.
In meditation topic also, there are two levels of practice. One is called Behiranga Sadhana, Another is antaranga sadhana. So, how a meditator should live? Now here Bhagavan gives three levels. One is with reference to object and with reference to circumstances, with reference to relationship. These three levels. So here Bhagavan is going to tell Jidatmana Prashantasya Paramatma Samahidaha Shitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu Tatha Manapamanayoho. These three pairs Bhagavan chooses because one is at the physical level, another is the mental level, third one is at the intellectual level. So physical level is Shitam Ushnam, cold and heat. These things are something we cannot control, weather we cannot control. It is natural, and when it comes, don't get worried, too much anxious. And the weatherman also will predict that last 50 years such storm has not come. This is the first time it is happening. So they will make you scare so much. Then you go to the grocery store and buy a lot of food and put 2-3 refrigerator full you keep. And then what happened? Another announcement come, the storm went the other way. The unnecessary getting worried. And if it comes, let it come. Enjoy the weather and put on some warm clothes, have a nice hot cup of tea and make some nice pakode and all that and enjoy it. That is how, that should be the attitude. So, Shitam Ushnam, Sukham Dukkham, that is the reaction of the mind. Mind always react. So this Sukham Dukkham is something that is natural. When favorable thing comes, you are happy, and unfavorable thing becomes, you are unhappy. These are all the play of our ego. And this is something that is, but one thing that you should understand, a meditator should understand, nothing is permanent. Sukham also not permanent, Dukkham also not permanent. Thank God. So, but Dukkham comes, we think it is years I am suffering. How long I have to suffer? Sukham comes, nobody asks, how long I have to be happy? No, nobody asks that question. But only Dukkham time only asks. But Dukkham comes, you said, you come, okay, very good, thank you, welcome. If that attitude is there, Dukkham will not affect you. This is at the mental state. Intellectual state is what? Manam avamanam, honor, dishonor. Suppose you go to somebody's house and they offer you tea with a left hand, then you feel miserable, isn't it? ये इतना आदर नहीं देता है, respect नहीं देता है. With left hand he is offering. No, suppose he doesn't receive you properly, then you feel dishonored. These are all intellectual calculation. That person may not have meant it. But then here what happened? The dishonor comes, that is also not permanent. So one who understands the meaninglessness of it, and that person, this you have to practice. Otherwise, if you take that mind, a person get insulted somewhere, small little thing, and then he goes to the meditation, he will carry that mind to the meditation seat, and then he will be meditating upon that. That is not meditation, it will be meditation. So all these three levels, this person maintain a balance. This is paristhiti. So that is why meditation should be practiced quietly. Don't announce to your friends and relatives, please. It is not a party talk. Because when people go to party, they announce, 4:30 बजे ध्यान में बैठे हैं मैं. So then that person will be curious, really? Yeah, next day you will get a phone call at 4:30. So he'll ask, why are you calling me? I was just checking you are meditating or not. He will disturb. So you don't announce this, please. It is not for advertisement, not getting somebody's, praise or recognition. You should do it quietly. This is very important. This is your secret mission. Then, continuing.
Jnana vijnana triptatma
Jnana vijnana triptatma
kutastho vijitendriyah
Kudastho vichitendriyah
yukta ityuchyate yogi
Yukta ityuchyate yogi
samaloštāśma kañcanah
Samaloshtasma kanchanaha. This is with reference to objects in the world. First one was circumstances. Now it is object in the world. Triptatma, a sense of the contention, enough. So, Shankaracharya ways, Triptatma means Alam Buddhi, he says. Alam Buddhi means this is enough. So whatever Bhagavan has given to us, that is enough. This attitude is called Alam Buddhi. So whatever Providence has provided to us, and I am happy with it. This type of a contention is called satisfaction. About Jnanam and Vijnanam. Here Bhagavan is mentioning about Jnanam, Vijnanam. Jnana means the curiosity to know so many things. And Vijnana means the wisdom. So with reference to that, a certain triptatma, certain satisfaction. And kudastaha, who remain unshaken. Vichitendriyaha, who has conquered the sense, to whom a lump of clay, a stone and gold are the same. That doesn't mean this person will not recognize what is gold, what is a lump of clay or a stone. He recognizes gold as gold, stone as stone, earth as earth. But he will not give magnified importance to it. Because he understands that clay has got its own importance in life. What stone can do, gold cannot do. So too, what gold can do, others cannot do. Each one is given their due importance. Not one is superior or another is inferior. This attitude is called samabuddhi. So this is to be maintained. It will help the mind to be successful in meditation seat. Then comes the most difficult one, is the relationship with people.
suhrin mitraryudasina
Suhrin mitraryudasina
madhyasthadveshya bandhushuhu
Madhyastadveshya bandhushuhu
sadhushvapi cha papeshu
Sadhushvapi cha papeshu
samabuddhirvishishyate.
Samabuddhir vishishyate. Here, how he tackles human relationship. Day-to-day basis, we have to interact with people. If our interaction is not healthy, then such a mind is taken to the meditation seat. Then the whole meditation will be our thinking about that problem. You will not be able to meditate. So we should have a healthy relationship. How we can have this healthy relationship is told here. So all the relationships that are possible in human life is all listed here. Think about our rishis. Their scientific mind. Suhrat, good-hearted person. Who is that? Without expecting anything, the one helps you. Is called Suhrat. Mitram, friend. Have love towards you. Even good wishes for you. That is called Mitram. Well-wisher. Then Ari means Shatru. He is the one continuously thinking how to pull you down. Some or other. That is called Shatru. Then Udasinaha, indifferent, never take anybody's side, indifferent people, like a broker, etc. Both sides they go. Then Madhyastha is called broker. Okay. Udasina is indifferent person, never take anybody's side. But here Madhyastha is again tell that is broker, like marriage broker, etc. He goes both sides. Dveshyaha, one who is Shatru. So there earlier it was that Shatru Ari, continuously thinking of how to pull you down. That is Ari. Here Bhagavan again repeats Shatru. Shatru here is different. He is inimical, but he doesn't do any harm. He doesn't like you, that's all. There are some people, some child came and told me, Swamiji, I don't like you. Now what can I do? There's nothing you can do about it. So like there are some people, the very look, you don't know why you don't like that person, but the very look, the very way you carry yourself, somehow I don't like. Some dislike you develop. That's called Shatru. Udasinaha, Shatruhu. There are Bandhuhu, relatives. Sadhu. Now relatives also, you see, relatively related. They are not permanently related. Okay. So, English also very nice. Relative. Sadhu, people who follow Shastra. Sadhu Purushaha. Papishu, sinful people. Now, these are the people you have to deal with in this world. All the relationships that are possible is written here. Bhagavan says, Samabuddhi Vishishyate. Keep the same mind. Now, what is this Samabuddhi? Shankaracharya Bhashyakara says in his Bhashya, Kaha Kim Karma. That's all he writes. Who is doing what? Generally, we have a nosy mind. When someone doing something, we are curious to know. If we cannot get direct information, we ask indirectly. Why are you having parties? To get news, isn't it? No. We are not gossiping, Swamiji. We are character analyzing. The new term. It is the same thing. So the one who is not interesting in others, that type of a mind. So let them do whatever they want according to their samskara, they do it. Why are you worried about it? Unnecessary creating garbage. And I remember once I was traveling with Gurudev. And the people, they have so many problems between, their sevaks also between, there are a lot of ragatveshas, likes and dislikes. Some, they think that Swamiji is favoring, some think that they don't favor, they don't even notice. So like that, there is a lot of complaints. So, one of them came and told me that you are, Swamiji's secretary, you are very close to him, so why don't you go and tell him about this? Why this person is still in the mission? So first time, because they cannot go directly tell him, they were afraid to tell him. So they caught hold of me. And I also very young at that time, I didn't know the consequences or who is right, who is wrong and all that, I did not think. But I also one day took courage, and after finishing all the work, then I just told that these people are telling about this person. Gurudev looked at me, stopped everything and looked at me and said, look, whatever papas that you have done in this life, in previous life, this life is not enough to complete it or completely remove it. why are you taking somebody else's papa also? Don't carry this dirt from others. So that was enough for me. So afterwards, I never carried anybody's dirt. So this is what it is. Who is doing what? The curiosity, what will happen? It will unnecessarily what you call, dirty your mind. And then you carry that dirt and you become sleepless. And what for? For what? Nothing. This is what he says. So then what is the purpose of meditation?
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा
तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा
यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः
यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः
उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्याद्
उपविश्यासने युञ्ज्यात्
योगमात्मविशुद्धये
तत्र एकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः. So designate a place and don't change the place. Don't keep on changing because mind gets associated to that particular place. Seated firmly, here Bhagavan gives the purpose of meditation. Everybody wants to meditate. So much is publicized nowadays and they are ready to pay any amount. But nowadays there are so many things that come up. Meditation mat, meditation agarbatti, meditation song, meditation music, all those things have come up now. But even though they sit, they should know what is the purpose of meditation. Here the Lord gives that purpose. Tatra ekagram manakritva. In that particular seat of meditation, keeping the mind single-pointed, activities of the senses controlled. This yoga of meditation should be practiced for Atma Vishuddhi. Atma Shabda can be body or mind or intellect or consciousness. All the four meanings are there. It is all depend upon the context. Now, Atma Vishuddhi is told. Here Shankaracharya gives a very beautiful explanation to this. And he says that Atma Shabda is not the meaning of Paramatma, the consciousness, because purification of Paramatma is not required, it is ever pure. That meditation is for what? Meditation is not for purifying the Atma, because Paramatma is ever pure. Then meditation, is it for purifying the body? No, body also you cannot meditate and purify. Body get dirty, you have to take a bath. That is all. What kind of bath? That you can decide. Then if it is for the purification of the mind, no, mind also, not through meditation it gets purified, please. Mind has to be purified through karma yoga. Ragat Vesha has to go. So this is karma yoga is the method of purifying the mind. Then one is left is what? Intellect. Now intellect is the one to be purified. Now intellect has got three problems. One problem is ignorance, ajnanam, ignorance about his own nature. Then viparita bhavana, second one, because when you listen, the ignorance will go by listening to the scriptures from a competent teacher. But when you listen to the teacher or the Upanishad or our Shastras, then the vision of the Shastra is what? You are the Paramatma. You are Satchidananda Swarupaatma. You are infinite. You are the Ananda Swarupaatma. This is the vision of Shastra. What is our experience? Total contradiction. I am dukkhi, I am limited. This is our experience. So therefore, there is a contradiction between the vision of the Shastra and our day-to-day experience. So this is to be resolved. And this is called Viparita Bhavana. And this can be resolved only through Mananam. That is why Mananam is very important, reflection. One part of the mind start asking question, another part of the mind start answering. And because another part of the mind heard the Shastra, so the Shastric logic, the the analysis, etc., the mind presents to you, and slowly, slowly the mind becomes settled. Now, you may not have, at a stage will come in your life, you may not have any doubt about the truth, about your nature of reality. All those things you may not have doubt. You have gone through serious study of our Shastras. A stage will come, you start thinking about giving up all Shastras. Why? You still feel, I have no experience. And to gain that experience only, meditation is advised. So that is why Atma Vishuddhaye. I cannot even use the word experience, but for want of expression I am using it. Then continue.
Yuktahara viharasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu yuktasvapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha.
Then Bhagavan gives certain discipline at the level of food and recreation. Not too much eating or not eating, also not good for meditation. Here it is called moderate living. Moderate in everything means spending minimum energy. This is called economizing your energy. So cooking, first time you are cooking, the whole day you will be spending and get tired also. One dal you make, you will be tired. But after 20 years of experience, even if you cook for 200 people, you are not tired. Why? You know how to economize your energy. This is a skill. Same way, moderate eating. I told you last time, Pureye dasinenardham titiyam utagenato vayusancharanarthaya chaturtham avasheshayed. So again, exercise also, work out too much and get tired, and then somebody has to massage you. Therefore, yuktahara vihara. This is called middle path. This middle path is talked in Bhagavad Gita long time ago before Buddha. Buddhism is championing this particular path, middle path. So sleep also moderate. Somebody said, Swamiji, even with alarm I cannot get up. Then I said, your situation is very alarming. Such a person, yoga means dhyana yoga becomes difficult. Easier. A person uses the middle path, yuktahara vihara. For him, it becomes easier. Now, what is the goal in the meditation seat? That also we should know.
Yatha deepo nivatasthaha
Yada deepo nivatasthaha
nengate sopama smrita
yengate sopama smrita
yogino yata chittasya yunjato yogamatmanaha.
Bhagavan says the mind should be kept in the meditation seat, undisturbed and steady without a flutter. Like, he gives an example, like protected from wind, how the flame of a lamp burns steadily without a flicker. The same way, your mind in meditation should stay. This example is beautiful because our mind is exactly like a flame. A small whiff of a thought is enough to disturb our mind. In the meditation seat, the mind should remain steady. Before getting to the point, we have to do a lot of sadhana, practice. Remember the example of getting onto the horse. A lot of effort is required in the beginning. Once you gain the steadiness, it may last maybe for a moment. But how to maintain that balance is the real challenge. And that comes with study of our scriptures at the feet of a traditional guru. Who am I? Who is the meditator? The meditator himself is questioned in the meditation seat. Who is meditating? In the beginning, it is the ego that is meditating. The ego himself wants to know what is its origin. And when you question the ego, then, the vicharam na sahate maya, inquiry. Ego doesn't like inquiring. You like inquiring about everything else. But himself inquiring he doesn't like. So, he will disappear. And then comes the real I, that is Paramatma. That who is that one witnessing even the ego? That question comes. And then what is the gain? So what is the gain if you do that? मतलब की बात पूछते हैं ना हम लोग. हाँ, भगवान gives here.
यं लब्ध्वा चापरं लाभं
Yam labdhva chaparam labham
मन्यते नाधिकं ततः
manyate nadhikam tataha
यस्मिन् स्थितो न दुःखेन गुरुणापि विचाल्यते.
gurunapi vichalyate. Having gained which there is no sense of loss. Yam labdhva cha aparam labham manyate. Cha aparam labham. In every gain there is a loss. Sense of loss. Even if you become a president of this country, you have gained the highest position of this country. What is the loss? Your privacy is lost. Everything you do is photographed. What is called the paparazzis will be there, even in your barber shop. If you become rich, the freedom of poor is not there. If you are educated, you are expected to behave properly. So every gain, there is a loss. You think that getting married is a great gain, but you lose the freedom of a bachelor. If you are a bachelor, if you have to go somewhere, you can pick up your car or vehicle and go. But after getting married, if you have to go somewhere, you have to tell her 24 hours before. You lose your single blessedness. So every gain, there is a loss. So here, there is no other gain is equivalent to this. How do you know? How do you know this? Bhagavan gives a reason also. Yasmin stito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. Having established in it, even if a tornado of unhappiness come, you will not be shaken. Think about that type of a mind. This is the advantage. So Bhagavan show you the result. and then give you practice also. If you keep on giving you instruction how to practice, you get tired. So suddenly he gives you what is the incentive. So this is the incentive. Now continuing, Arjuna at that time asked a question.
Chanchalam hi manah Krishna Pramathi balavadridam Tasyaham nigraham manye Vayorivat sudushkaram.
Vayoriva sudushkaram. Arjuna has got a doubt now. This theory of yours of controlling the mind, etc., in the meditation seat and keeping it steady, like a steady flame without a flicker, etc., you gave example. All those you are talking, it is not possible. Why? My mind is restless. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. And not only that, turbulent. Pramati balavat dridam, strong and unyielding. If you have any doubt, take your child to Toys R Us, and then you know how strong the child is. When you try to remove him from the shop, he says, I want it now. To control that child, it is very difficult. Like Vayoriva Sudushkaram, like a controlling storm. You have to wait for the damage done. And afterwards you can do something. This is Arjuna's question. Now Bhagavan answers that. Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Asamshayam Mahabaho Manodurnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha gruhyate.
Bhagavan knew Arjuna's standpoint as he was ready to smash all the thought development and teaching Bhagavan gave so far. He was in that critical mood. At that time, the best method to unarm that person is to accept it. So, Bhagavan uses that psychology. And he says, Asamshayam Mahabaho. You are right. I have no argument about it. You are right. It is difficult to control the mind. It is turbulent. It is continuously changing. And He Kaunteya, Bhagavan addressing Arjuna as Kaunteya, in Kunti ka bete. Kunti was Bhagavan's aunt. You are my aunt's son. I am not going to bluff you. That is the idea. With abhyasa, practice, and vairagya, with detachment, you will be able to restrain your mind with practice. Nobody comes from the mother's womb perfect. Whatever we are today is because of practice only. Any profession, you have to practice to become perfect. That's why doctors say, my practice. They are still practicing. Then Arjuna raised another question. Suppose this person practicing this meditation whole life, but he has not attained that perfection, and he dies away and go. What will happen to that soul? Is it that all his efforts are wasted? In his next life, he has to start all over again? If that is the case, don't teach me this meditation. It is impractical. That's the thought of Arjuna, and Bhagavan is answering that. Parthanaiveha.
Parthanaiveha namutra विनाशस्तस्य विद्यते न हि कल्याणकृत् कश्चित् दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति.
He Partha, neither in this world nor in the other world there is no destruction for his effort. Nahi Kalyanakrit, one who is doing good, noble people, no destruction for him. Whatever you have done in this life will not go waste. It will be carried forward. A person who is not successful to gain moksha and die away, he will be born to a pure family. Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashto Vijayate Athava Yoginam Eva Kule Bhavati Dhimatam. So you will be born to a pure family, and childhood onwards he will be practicing. Parents were well educated in this path, and thus he will get a good start. You can see that if you look around, there are children born with a musical talent. When a 3-year-old child started singing, even recognizing ragas, etc. So there are so many examples are there. Or he will be born to a yogi's family, which is very rare, like Jnaneshwar, etc. And so we see in our life also, children are born with that tendency. One child is totally devoted, another child is totally opposite also, you see. Now, saying after that, now concluding the topic, Bhagavan says, Yoginam api sarvesham.
योगिनामपि सर्वेषां
Yoginamapi sarvesham
मद्गतेनान्तरात्मना
Madgatenantaratmana
श्रद्धावान् भजते यो माम्
Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam
समे युक्ततमो मतः
Same yuktatamo mataha. Therefore, may you become yogi. What kind of yogi you should be? He says, among all yogis, may your mind be devoted to me. Because there are so many yogis who do not believe in God. Yogi who practice the Dhyana Marga, at the same time he has complete faith in Bhagavan, and he totally merged his thought in me, the Lord Parameshwara. Such person is considered the highest yogi. Yoginam abhi sarvesham madgata antaratmana. Madgatena antaratmana. So whose mind is totally absorbed. So chintanam yat khatanam. So always thinking about Bhagavan continuously, wherever, whatever turning point in his life, he considers it is Ishwarecha. That type of a person is considered the highest yogi. Whatever you are doing in the path of spirituality, do it with sincerity. This is a point Bhagavan is making here. With that, we conclude the 6th chapter. Now that first Shatkam is over, Prathama Shatkam is over. Now we are changing the channel. This is the 7th chapter onwards. So with that, we conclude the 6th chapter of the 7th chapter. Now up to this 6th chapter, Bhagavan talked about you, starting with the problem of Arjuna, and then Bhagavan introduced to him his own real self. Then how to attain that, purifying the mind, 3rd, 4th and 5th chapter in different levels of purification. And finally, with purified mind, you sit for meditation. Then you will realize the truth. So the one portion of the topic is complete. Now Bhagavan says, Arjuna, I have talked about you is enough. Now let me talk about myself. So here the channel changes. See, Bhagavan talks about the Lord, who is He, how is He, etc. Meditation is sitting in one place. Maybe half an hour, 45 minutes you can meditate. One time or two times. Rest of the time we are opening our eyes and dealing with the world. Now when you open your eyes, how you not miss the presence of Lord in the world is talked about in the 7th chapter onwards. This is the topic. It is otherwise called open eye meditation. Let us see Bhagavan Vacha.
Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyamya sheshatah yajnatva neha bhuyonyat ज्ञातव्यम अवशिष्यते.
Bhagavan promises Arjuna, I shall explain to you what is Jnanam, means knowledge, along with Vijnanam, wisdom, completely without keeping anything with me. Asheshadaha. Now, what is the advantage of knowing this? Why are you telling me this? Bhagavan says, having known this, there is nothing in this world worthy of knowing. Neha bhuyonyat jnatavyam avashishyate. There is nothing. So now, what is jnanam? Jnanam, one meaning is general knowledge about this world. Now what is Vijnanam? This world is supported by a power in whose presence this world is functioning harmoniously. This is called Vijnanam. One level. There must be a truth behind it, support behind it, and what is that support? That understanding is called Vijnanam. That is also one level. The second level is, again, according to Vedanta, this is not Vijnanam. That Lord whose nature is all-pervasive, if He is all-pervasive, then He is with me also. This is called Vijnanam. Again, that is not called Vijnanam, according to Vedanta. Then what is Vijnanam? That Lord is who is all-pervasive, who is not only with me, but He is me. This understanding is called Vijnanam. I am that Paramatma. Aham Brahma Asmi. This understanding is called Vijnanam. And Bhagavan said, I shall explain to you both. First, he talks about this world. Before that, he talks about this world. Now,
Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu kham mano buddhireva cha
Khammano buddhireva cha
ahankara iti yamme
akhankara iti yamme
bhinna prakritiristadha
prana prakriti rashtadha. 5 elements: Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. Space, air, fire, water, earth. Then buddhi, mano buddhi, mind and intellect. Then ahankara. These are the 5 elements plus Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara. These are the eightfold Prakriti. This is what you see in Bhagavan Krishna's life. He had 8 main wives. Then what about 16,000? So he is wedded to this Prakriti, eightfold Prakriti. Wedded to means what? Prakriti is inert. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, Manaha, Buddhi, Ahankaram. All the 8 of them are inert matter. That enlivening factor, wedded to it means what? The enlivening factor is Paramatma, the Lord. So Lord is wedded to all the eightfold Prakriti. That is the idea of Bhagavan marrying 8 main wives. Then what about 16,000? He says from morning till evening, we entertain 16,000 different varieties of thoughts. And all the thoughts are wedded to consciousness. All the thoughts are possible because consciousness is present. And every thought, full consciousness is available, not half consciousness. That is why 16,008 wives, Bhagavan Krishna was available individually. It is not that Bhagavan Krishna, one person, and he was visiting wives every day, one. Then by the time 16,008, she will become old. No, it's like that. So, now Bhagavan here says, one is the lower nature. This Ashtada Prakriti is called lower nature, and higher nature is that the life principle in every one of them. So we have a higher nature and lower nature. This combination of these two is called the whole life of ours. The enlivening factor in every living being is called higher Prakriti. And Bhagavan says, the combination of these sentient and inert constitute the entire world. And finally, Bhagavan said, don't think that that is me. Matta parataram nanyat.
Mattah parataram nanyat.
Matta parataram nanyat.
Kinchidasti dhananjaya.
Kinchitasti dhananjaya.
Mai sarvamidam protam. Sutre manigana iva.
Nothing, there is nothing in this world above me. Hey Arjuna, all this is strung in me like a clusters of gem in a garland. Bhagavan is the warp and filling of the entire creation, inherent and concurrent of this creation. There is nothing can exist without his presence. Now that is why our culture, we worship everything with this understanding. Akbar and Birbal were going for a walk. Birbal saw a tulsi plant and he started praying. Tulsi Mata, he offered his prayer. Birbal got angry. What is this Hindus, praying to some jhad, some trees, plant and all that. He pulled it and threw it. Birbal kept quiet. The next came, what do you call this, a plant, a poisonous plant. Yeah. So, Birbal deliberately prayed to that. So this time he got angry, he pulled that. And afterwards his body started scratching. And Akbar asked, what is this, Birbal? This is scratching all over my body. He said, first it was mother, you see. She is very patient, compassionate. The second one was father. So he punishes you. Now what is to be done? He said, now cow dung is the best remedy. Cow is also worshipped. So this is our nature, our culture, with a higher vision. It is not superstition, etc. Don't misunderstand. It is with a higher vision that Paramatma is everything. Like when you see a pot, it is nothing but clay. Gold plus chain is gold chain. You cannot say gold minus chain is gold. So, in this entire creation, the material cause and efficient cause, both are Him. There is nothing bereft of Him. Therefore, He says, I am everything. In the dream world, even Stavara Jangamas, there are trees, plants, mountains, rivers, etc., and birds and animals, human beings, sometime, or aeroplane, planes, trains, etc. All of them are what? Your mind. Isn't it? The same way, Paramatma is everything. Example also from verse 8 to 11 here, that sapidity in water, the brilliance in the sun and the moon and the stars is Bhagavan Himself. You don't have to go anywhere. Bhagavan presence is there in everything in this creation. So He highlights the water that you think. There is nothing equivalent to water, okay? Your Coca-Cola is not equivalent to water. So when you are thirsty, you have to drink water. And what is that sapidity in that water? What gives you that taste? The water has no taste, but without water you cannot taste anything. So that ability, what is that? That presence is Bhagavan. So also the sun and the moon and the star. Sun, science says it is a gaseous matter. So if it is that gas, who provides it? Billions and millions of years it is burning gas, and who provides the fuel for it? So that is Bhagavan's grace. So in everything you have to learn to see the Paramatma. It is something like a goldsmith eye. Goldsmith see in every ornament. What does he see? He doesn't see the beauty of the ornament. What does he see? What is the carat of the gold, isn't it? It is 22 carat or 14 carat. That is what he sees. So you have to develop that type of an eye. So continuing, balam balavatam chaham.
Balam balavatam chaham.
Balam balavatam chaham.
Kamaraga vivarjitam.
Kamaraga vivarjitam.
Dharma viruddho bhuteshu.
Dharma viruddho bhuteshu.
Kamosmi bharatarshabha.
Kamosmi bharadarshabha. I am the strength in the strongest. Now what type of balam? Kamaraga vivarjitam balam. Not like the strength you see in Ravana, but the strength of Rama and Hanumanji. The strength free from desire and attachment. Kamaraga vivarjitam balam. And also I am the desire in everyone, which is unopposed to dharma. So there is no harm in entertaining desire, but the method of fulfillment should be dharmic. Don't take shortcuts. So our culture is not against fulfilling desire, please. So it allows, but the only condition they say is it should be a dharmic method, righteous method. Don't use shortcuts. Therefore, Bhagavan is everything. If you are everything, why people don't come to you? Then the answer given here, Devi Hyesha Gunamayi.
दैवी ह्येषा गुणमयी
Devi Hyesha Gunamayi.
मम माया दुरत्यया
Mama Maya Duratyaya.
मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते
Mameva ye prapadyante.
मायामेतां तरन्ति ते
Maya me tam taranti te. Bhagavan says, my Maya is Daivi. Daivi means dependent upon the Lord. Dependent upon Devam. This Maya is endowed with three gunas, Gunamayi Maya. It is difficult to cross. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas is the guna. We will see that in the 14th chapter elaborately. But a person who surrendered to him, then Maya will not touch him. Now, they used to give an example. Fishermen, when they go to fish, they take a net and go into the sea. Up to the chest they will go, submerge themselves and go. And then they throw the net away from them. And they will be able to catch those fishes, they were away from him. The net will catch. But those fishes were roaming around his feet. He cannot touch. The net will not catch. So the same example, you can understand that if you go away from the lotus feet of Bhagavan, you will be caught by the snare of Maya. If you are under his feet, then Maya will not touch you. So, Bhameva ye prapatyante Maya metam tarantite. Then Bhagavan said, there are 4 types of people come to me. Chaturvidha bhajante mam.
चतुर्विधा भजन्ते माम् जना सुकृतिनोऽर्जुन
Jnana sukriti norjuna.
आर्तो जिज्ञासुरर्तार्थी
Arto jitnya surartharti.
ज्ञानी च भरतर्षभ
Hey, the best among Bharata dynasty, Bharatarshabha. There are 4 types of people come to me. First is Artharthi. Whenever we are in trouble, he become devoted. That's why they say when you are sick, you try allopathy first, then homeopathy, then naturopathy, then sympathy, then last is Tirupati. They call Artharthi. Then second one is Jitnyasu, curious to know the Lord. Because whenever he prays, things happen. So he knows there is a power behind it. He became curious to know, called Jitnyasu, Jnadam Michuhu. Then Artha, when he come to know the nature of Lord, his eagerness to know him. Like Swami Vivekananda, he was so eager to know the Lord. He used to ask everyone, have you seen God? Only Ramakrishna Paramahamsa could answer his question. The fourth one is Jnani, the one who knows the nature of himself and the nature of Lord. The Lord will bless him with knowledge. This is the development of a seeker. First everyone starts as Artharthi. Then he becomes Jitnyasu. Then Artaha. And then finally Jnani. But Bhagavan is not condemning anybody. All are noble people. Udara sarvayevete. But jnani tu atmeva me matam. But there is no difference between me and jnani. Then, if that is the case, why people don't seek you? Then he said, yo yo yam yam tanum bhakta.
यो यो यां यां तनुं भक्तः श्रद्धयार्चितुमिच्छति तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां तामेव विदधाम्यहम्.
Here you see the large-heartedness of our rishis. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhayarchitum ichchati. Whatever form a devotee worship with faith, I make their faith firm. So you don't have to convert yourself to realize truth. Whatever faith you believe, you continue with intensity. You continue if you are a Christian, be a Christian. Be a good Christian. Be a good Muslim. And if you are a Hindu, be a Hindu, but sincere. Whatever be your form of worship, form of belief, you be sincere. Then Bhagavan says, I will reconfirm your faith. I will make it firm, your faith. And people worship different, in Hinduism also, people worship different deities to fulfill their desires. And let them do so. Because the power to bless you has come from the Lord, Parameshwara. Like the president of this country, he cannot rule the country without delegating power to different departments. These department heads are considered different deities in charge of different powers. In Puranas you will read, if Indra Devata is propitiated, he will appear and say, I can bless you with material wealth, but don't ask me for moksha. That is not in my hand. That you have to go to Bhagavan. Other things I can give you. So whatever be the style of your worship, it doesn't matter. If you are sincere in that, with my blessings, your sincerity get intensified and rewarded for that sincerity. That's why even Rakshasas, when they go to do tapas, Bhagavan came and bless them. Continuing.
नाहं प्रकाश सर्वस्य योगमाया समावृतः मूढोऽयं नाभिजानाति लोको मामजमव्ययम्.
He says, Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrtaha. Even though Bhagavan said, I remain in everybody's heart. So like Sutre, Manigana, Iva, etc. Bhagavan said. In that case, how come that we are not able to know him? So he says, I am not manifest to all in my real nature. Even though I remain in every heart, but I am not manifest to all, because I am as though covered by my own Maya. That is called, Maya has got Avarana Shakti, Vikshepa Shakti. So this Avarana Shakti is called veiling power. It covers the truth and projects something else. Because of this covering faculty of Maya, I am not visible in every heart, even though I reside. This deluded world not know me, my imperishable nature of mind. Then who will know me? A person whose papa is completely gone through punyakarmas, free from pairs of opposite and delusion, they come to me. With this, Lord concludes the 7th chapter. Towards the end, he uses some technical terms, and Arjuna asks clarification, and that makes up the 8th chapter. Arjuna asks 7 questions. 6th question he answers in 2 verses, and the 7th question he answers in the whole 8th chapter. Arjuna asked this question to the Lord, how am I going to remember you at the time of death? Because Bhagavan said, if you remember me at the time of death, you will come to me. There is no doubt. Nastyatra samshayaha, Bhagavan said. So therefore, Arjuna's question was, how am I going to remember you? Now we are on the 8th chapter. Lord introduced a few technical terms towards the end of the 7th chapter. Naturally, Arjuna asked clarification for those words in the 8th chapter. Bhagavan is answering that. I think we'll have to stop here. Okay. Tomorrow is Friday. I may take 15 minutes more so that I will be able to complete it in time. Okay. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Sorry, a little confusion there on the order of things. We'll do the Aarti in just a moment. But before we do that, I just have a couple of announcements. The most important one, actually, we'll start with is our modified schedule for Sunday. Originally, we had planned to have Sunday like the rest of the days with a morning and evening session. But after consideration and discussion with Swamiji, we thought a better plan was to put everything in the morning on Sunday. So we'll do... Okay, go ahead.
Swamiji, you also confirmed the times. We both talked about it. So we are doing Krishna Puja first from 8 to 9. Followed by 9 to 9:45, we are doing the breakfast. And at 10, we are going to start the discourse, maybe, and also at the last, everything that happens after the end, the discourse. So it's first Krishna Puja, then followed by breakfast. So there's a slight change there. So 8 to 9 is puja, and 9 to 9:45 or 10 is the breakfast, and discourse follows the breakfast. And then at 12:30, which is the most important time, that's the lunch. So
now, how will we celebrate having studied 18 chapters of Gita with an 18-course lunch? Now, not quite 18 courses, but it'll be somewhere in that vicinity. It'll be a good lunch, I guarantee you. So that'll be the way we celebrate our study of Gita. So again, the key message to everyone, please, is that Sunday morning will be the event, both the puja, the breakfast, and the discourse, followed by lunch. So we won't have anything Sunday evening. And then I wanted to just say a few words about this concept of Guru Dakshina. You know, as I was thinking about this, I remember a quote by Alexander the Great. All of you know this, that great leader, the great leader of Greece, Alexander the Great. He said, I am indebted to my father for a living, but to my teacher for living well. And many of you probably know that Alexander the Great's teacher was who? Aristotle, who came himself from a great lineage of teachers, right? Socrates and Plato. Here in Chinmaya Mission, we have an even greater lineage of teachers, don't we? We have people like Swami Shantananda ji and all the other Swamijis and Swaminijis in Chinmaya Mission. And they are all inspired by Gurudev himself. And his teaching is what? Of the lineage of Lord Shiva and Sankaracharya. That's the lineage of teachers that we are indebted to. They are the ones who teach us not about making a living, not about common secular knowledge, but about living well, about living in a way that makes us contented, peaceful. How much value is that? Just as Alexander was indebted to his teacher, we too are indebted to our teachers. And I think that's the kind of attitude we want to have when we think about Dakshina. Dakshina is never forced. It's never, Chinmaya Mission never insists upon it. The knowledge is given freely. But the idea is that the student, us, we feel that indebtedness, as Alexander the Great did to his teacher. We feel that indebtedness because what our teachers like Swami Shantananda ji are teaching us is how we can live better. Gurudev used to say that we focus a lot on the standard of living, but what Chinmaya Mission is teaching us through teachers like Swami Shantananda ji is a standard of life. So that's what I think all of us should be thinking about when we think about how we can pay some of our debt back to our teachers. So with that in mind, I just wanted to point out one other very important announcement. All of you probably know, you've seen signs all over the building about our Gopura Kumbhabhishekam. That will happen September 8th, 9th, and 10th, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you look in the temple there, you'll see that they're literally being built right now. It's a group of construction workers who have built in other temples, and they're putting together the Gopurams here for us. So it'll be a beautiful affair. It'll be an affair where Dharmagaru and Ponnagaru and others will help us unveil the kumbha for each of the Gopurams. Not just the three inside the temple, but also the one on the top of the building as well. It'll be quite a sight to see. So we want everyone to please attend. And if we're very lucky, Swami Shantananda ji may be able to come as well from New Jersey to bless us at the time of that event. So I wanted to remind everyone about that very important upcoming event. So please put that on your calendars. And please spread the word. We want all of you, we want every single person, Indian, non-Indian, anyone who has any interest in our teaching, our devotion, to come, please, and witness this Kumbhabhishekam. With that, why don't we begin our arati? We'd like to invite all of our sponsors. They're listed on the screen here, so if all of you could please come up. And thank you, by the way, for sponsoring, for your support. But all of you are welcome to come up with your families to help us with the arati.
जय भगवद्गीते मय्या जय भगवद्गीते हरिः कमलविहारिणि सुन्दरसुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते कर्मसुमर्म प्रकाशिनि कामासक्तिहरा तत्त्वज्ञानविकाशिनि विद्या ब्रह्मपरा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते निश्चल भक्तिविदायिनि निर्मलमलहारी शरणरहस्यप्रदायिनि सबविधिसुखकारी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते रागद्वेषविदारिणि कारिणि मोद सदा भवभयहारिणि तारिणि परमानन्दप्रदा ॐ जय भगवद्गीते आसुरभावविनाशिनि नाशिनि तमरजनी दैवी सद्गुणदायिनि हरिरसिका सजनी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते समता त्याग सिखावनी हरिमुख की बानी सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी श्रुतियों की रानी ॐ जय भगवद्गीते दया सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा की जय हरिपद प्रेम दान कर अपनों कर लीजय ॐ जय भगवद्गीते ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ